Hello everyone and welcome to our discussion on basic statistics once again. In the last video that I made and sent to you, it was understood that we'll be having examples on how to calculate the mean of ungrouped frequency distribution using the assume mean method. Before the examples come, I want to explain briefly how we determine the assumed mean given a set of distribution. I have explained somewhere that the mean is a quantity of representativeness. That means that the mean is a figure that is always able to represent other figures in a given distribution. Why is it so? The question will be answered very soon. Apart from this, we have heard of average salary. That means average simply means mean. That's mean salary. So when we go to a place where people are working to determine how much average somebody is paid, we don't use the model because the model will look at how much the big man is getting. But we want to find out how much is everybody around that facility or that organization is paid basically the average salary of every worker in that place. So that when you get that figure, it will tell you that basically those who are working there, everybody's pay hangs around that particular figure. So the mean is a figure that is usually used to represent other figures in a given distribution. So let's assume that we have a group of boys who go to weed on a farm according to their strength, according to how big you can weed, and they are given some amount to share. Somebody gets 10 Ghana cedis, another person gets 20 Ghana cedis, another person gets 30 Ghana cedis, somebody is paid 40 Ghana cedis, somebody is paid 50 Ghana cedis, someone is paid 60, and someone is paid 70 Ghana cedis. So this is what 10 means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 boys go to weed on the farm. Assuming they are friends, they go to weed on a particular somebody's farm and they are paid these amounts. So that the lower person gets 10 Ghana cedis and the highest person gets 70 Ghana cedis. So assuming that they want to be the one who gets the highest mark, the highest amount, or those who get the big amounts, want to be kind as friends to the one who gets the lowest amount. They say, okay, let's put all our figures or money together and share equally. Let's see how it's going to be like. So when we do this one, we have 7 figures over here. So to find the mean of them, we put all the figures together because they are saying that let's put all our money together and share among ourselves equally. So we're going to have 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 plus 60 plus 70. So they put the plus in between them. For the sake of time, that's why I'm doing this way. That's why I put the space so I can just explain it. We can go because of time. So when we do this one, when we add all the 7 figures, we're going to get 200. So this is divided by 7. We're going to get divided by 7. So when we add all the figures, we're going to get 280. This one divided by 7 is going to give us 40. So I'm using this one to explain to you the concept of the mean as a figure of representativeness and how we determine the assumed mean when we are doing the calculation of these distributions. Because it comes from this fact. So now that we have done this one, we can see that the mean is lying around the center of the distribution because we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the mean is somewhere lying. The mean is 40. The average figure is 40 because if you add all the figures and divide by their number, we get 40. Look at where the 40 is lying. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the figure is here. So it means that if the boys are to share equally, everyone will get averagely 40 Ghana cedis. Nobody can get more than 40, no one also get less than 40. So the only amount that they can share equally without cheating anybody would be 40 Ghana cedis. So this figure is the average amount that all the boys will get if they want to put all the money together and share equally. That is why when you go into a company to look at salaries, you look at average salary, it means that's the amount at which everybody's pay hangs around. It may not be equal to, but it's not far from that figure that you actually obtain by looking at the average salary for workers in a particular organization. It can be in a hospital or whatever you are, you are studying. So, well, anytime we get the mean, that's when we say the mean is a figure of representativeness, telling you that it's a figure that can represent all other figures in a given data or in a given distribution. So when we are going to look for the assumed mean, we'll go to the center of the data, because we have seen that when we got the mean, it's lying at the center of the distribution. We have 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3, and 40. Also, our mean is just at the center of that data. So when we are going to choose the assumed mean, we go to the center of the distribution and look for the figures that are around the center of the distribution as the assumed mean, which is used to go about our calculations. Assuming that we had another figure that was going to be 80, we're going to have two middle numbers. We'll have two figures that will be at the center. If you pick any of them, as the assumed mean, you can go ahead and do your calculation. And whichever one you pick, if the calculation is well done, you get the same answer. So when you have two figures at the center, you can pick any of them, do your calculation. When it happens this way, when you have two figures at the center, people always choose the one with the higher frequency. You can go for a figure that has the higher frequency and take the one as the assumed mean to proceed with your calculation. So with this explanation, I want you to understand how we come by the assumed mean. How do you just pick some figure and say, let's take this figure as the assumed mean? It's because the mean, when you calculate it, is hung around the center of every distribution, provided it is well done. So when we come to look at the assumed mean method, as you see the next two videos, this is how we come by, or we arrive at picking the assumed mean from such a data or from such a distribution. And with this, when you understand it this way, and you're picking the assumed mean, bear in mind that it's a figure that is at the center of every distribution. Thank you. Let's get the examples now to follow.